right, here he is talking all things NFL. He's the best in the business. He's a friend of the show for a very long time. We love having him on. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike Garafolo from the NFL Network, brought to you by an army of advertisers. Zogs on Fox Island, perfect spot to grab a cold beer, catch the game, hang out with friends, even this time of year. And Hartley and Hartley Insurance, your trusted insurance experts, family owned in the Puget Sound area since 1978. They say for honesty and fairness, integrity, contact Jamie Hartley when he's not golfing. 253-565-8700. Okay, I know where you're at. For those who can't see Mike, I know you're out to lunch with a friend or wrapped up a lunch with a friend. You've got like a cream-colored blazer on. The backdrop looks like you're at some type of like mafia establishment.
No, we're at the
Essex
House.
The Essex
We're at the
House.
JW Marriott Essex House in Manhattan. That's where we are.
Okay. What did we order today?
I had a salad. Hearts of palm salad with steak. It's good. I'm not paying.
Okay.
I saw the
right.
bill, though. 2 salads and a drink. Not even
2 salads and
drink.
1 drink. No alcohol?
2 salads. No. 2 salads, a coffee, and basically a mocktail is what I had. I got to work today. $113. Pre-tip.
Yeah, pre-tip. That's my favorite, pre-tip.
So it's at a Michael Mina establishment here. Bourbon Steak is the restaurant, which I've taken my wife to, and that was like, half a mortgage payment when I took her for dinner with drinks.
Yeah,
the bill came and it was like a whew.
You can't. I don't care where you're. Well, especially our 2 cities, New York and Seattle. You throw San Francisco in there. You can't go out for a meal. And I don't. And if it's just maybe one person get away with it. 2 people, it's a minimum of $100. A minimum.
Minimum of $100.
Minimum
for dinner in your city.
Yeah. Oh yeah, minimum.
What's the steakhouse there again?
Well, there's several, but we prefer John Howie Steakhouse.
No. That's not it. There's a number in there, I think, or maybe I'm misremembering.
El Gaucho.
No, what is El Gaucho? No, it was. Come on,
Daniel's Broiler.
Old school.
Oh, well, those are the main ones. Metropolitan Grill. I just gave you the.
That's it. Boom. There it is. That's the one. Metropolitan Grill.
Yeah,
there's no number in there. Why did I think there was a number in there? I think it was Metropolitan Grill. Yeah, but like 10 years ago, it was $300. Lord knows what it is now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I don't think you realize out there, like our 2 cities and price wise for everything, the same. Everything. It's just the same. It's dumb.
The most expensive one that I've had in the last decade was Detroit.
Oh, Detroit.
Who thinks Detroit? We went, Colleen Wolfe, Michael Robinson, MJD, and I were on the desk when we had the NFL. We still have the NFL. Well, we don't have a triple header anymore. The NFL Network triple header, and we were the desk for the last game of the day. And the night before, we went out to dinner, went to a steakhouse. I forget the name of it. And it was like $600 a person. It was something just, God. I mean, and of course, they're ordering crab. And I'm looking at the menu, and I'm like,
yeah, no thanks.
How am I going to expense this thing?
Oh, you can't. Well, yeah, you can expense anything. That's what I do like about being self-employed is expensing a lot of things. Actually, is the gift.
Yeah, but who are you expensing it to?
Well, I know that's sure. I'm still paying no matter what, but it kind of feels good. I can write this off.
Dumbest stuff I've ever heard, right there.
Yeah, well. First of all, if that ranks right up there. It only gets worse. Hey, I'm going to send you this hat. Will you wear this on the set? That's the Puck Sports hat.
Yeah, sure.
I'll give you a sweatshirt too. Oh, how about this shirt?
Yeah, send me. I love swag.
On the NFL Network.
Oh.
Can you do it?
I mean,
okay.
Not for free.
Well, it's peanuts. I know.
I got to look at the fine print of our deal there, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
What is happening over here?
I don't know. You're at a restaurant. What do you think's happening? People being served and eating.
We're in the lobby of the hotel right now.
Let's start with that. You are very passionate about this on the NFL Network set on Good Morning Football. I saw the viral clip because his family. Well, I don't know. It's everywhere. And I don't know how to properly pronounce his last name. Kevin, is it Patullo?
Patullo, yes.
Okay. He's the offense coordinator of the Eagles, and people don't know. They're very frustrated with him, frustrated with everybody, the offense in Philly. We've talked about it a lot. But it crossed the line this past weekend. His house in New Jersey was egged. Do we know who? Have they been able to find who did it yet?
Oh, they're on it. They're on it.
Yeah.
Big Dom is on it.
Well, see, that's the guy I wouldn't cross.
Well,
see, that's the guy I'm out.
As I said in that clip, there's nothing that happens in Philadelphia and South Jersey that Dom doesn't know about. So I had no doubt, and from what I'm told, he knows who they are. He has them, and the police are doing their. Can you hear me? Somebody's.
Yeah, I got you.
All right. So at some point, the police are going to do the job officially, So, but they got him, and these guys are going to be, they'll be fined. It's not going to be jail time or anything like that. I mean, it's an egging of as a lot of people were like, oh, it's an egging of a house. Relax, because I never did that when I was a kid. Never
egged a house.
I've never egged a house because I was like,
I did it way too much.
I'm sure, right? But they didn't sound like kids to me. They sounded like at least like 21-ish years old. You should know a little bit better. And as I said in the clip, and I'll reiterate again, it's not just the egging of them. Like that family is
construction at the JW Marriott in downtown Manhattan.
This at the freaking SXL. And I can't go outside because it's just too unbelievably too cold.
Oh, this is. I mean, what are they doing? It's just like, are they cutting up and sawing off the floor?
Oh, well, it's behind the curtained off area, so you can't. They don't want you to see it, but you can hear it.
Well, sure can.
Yeah. So, like, this family is dealing with a lot of things that are making them feel uncomfortable right now.
Sure.
And so all of a sudden, if you're sitting there and you hear, you don't know what the hell it is, right?
Right.
And I just, again, they're wonderful people. They're always with the sideline area right by our shot every Sunday, so I see them. And I intentionally named them all. I gave you some of their interests and hobbies to be like, these are people, right? Because I know a lot of people think like, there's too much dehumanization happening in the world today. So I tried to humanize people that are going through a lot only because of play calls in a game, right? Like that's what this is all about. So
yeah,
hopefully it settles down.
You know what? I'm making the family rewatch the Friday Night Lights television show. I don't know if you ever watched it, but Friday Night, great show. It's Coach Eric Taylor, one of the best coaches that I think football's ever seen. Why can't we just go back instead of egging the houses? Why can't we just go back to the old high school days where you put the for sale sign outside of their house like that?
What did you do outside? They drilled.
Remember that they would put the for sale signs outside the coaches' houses.
Oh,
after a bad loss. I think we can get behind.
I'm gonna lean toward just stay off other people's property. That's what I'm gonna lean towards. You or your eggs.
Okay. All right.
So,
Cowboys and Lions tonight. The Cowboys. How have they turned this around? They went 3 straight. Now they look like a real good football team.
I thought that they were good. Week one, they played the Eagles. I was super impressed with the way that they played that night. So how have they turned it around? They're playing better defensively. That certainly helps because the defense was struggling, and they added. I mean, Kenny Clark was added early, but getting acclimated. They also added Quinn Williams. Logan Wilson helped them when he came over in the trade too, as well. So they've added better players. Like that's the first part of it. The other part of it is, I think that there's a little bit of a. And I just hate to even suggest that this could be a trivial type thing when you think about it. But when Marshawn Nealon died, that brought a lot of folks together in that locker room. And all of a sudden you see the way that your head coach handles things and you got, that much more respect for him. It's not again, I hate to take young man committed suicide and hey, look how great but that's part of it, right? Like that's the part of being a team. And I think it's helped them deal with it too. Kind of locking in and focusing on football. So,
the talent's always been there.
The quarterback. right? Like I know he gets destroyed because you're the quarterback of the Cowboys. You're always going to get destroyed when you're the quarterback, unless you're winning Super Bowls like Troy Aikman. But he's a really good player, and they've got two fantastic receivers. Pickens is. I did not think the Pickens deal was going to work out the way that it really has. So I'm super impressed with the way that he's played. The thing you worry about there is, okay, do you now give him a huge contract extension, and all of a sudden it falls off a cliff again, the way that it sort of did in Pittsburgh? So you got to guard against that. But that's sort of a good problem to have, because when you make a trade, you want it to work out well, and it certainly has so far.
Hey, what do you make of Ben Roethlisberger on this podcast of floating out Mike Tomlin to Penn State?
I thought you were just going to say a fresh start in general, not Penn State specifically. I think Tomlin's one of the guys that could do well transitioning from the NFL to the college world. But I didn't get the sense that they're down the road at all there. Penn State's checking out some other guys. There are some other guys in the NFL that they are exploring. I think they had an interest in Jeff Hafley, the defensive coordinator with the Packers. But Hafley, he already did the college thing, and he's put himself on the NFL head coaching radar. Why would you go backwards? So I don't see that happening by any stretch. And Jeff Brom, to really tell Louisville that he was hanging yesterday, I thought was a huge surprise. To go from Louisville to Penn State, you think that would be one that would certainly interest somebody. So I'm shocked that Penn State still doesn't have a coach, and I wouldn't be surprised if you wind up seeing them dip into the NFL ranks in the end.
Who else would be rumored in the NFL of going there? What other names is there other names that you can float?
You're too good sometimes, right? Like, I can't just say things and you go, oh, that's cool, I'll just move on. No, I got to ask him specifically who he's talking about.
Of course, I want to know specific names.
There's something there. You'll find out soon. Like nobody in Seattle. Coaches. Don't worry about it.
Well, yeah. Head coaches, assistant coaches, coordinators.
No NFL head coach is gonna Okay. Well, look, Brian Daboll. We could say Brian Daboll. Brian Daboll's in the mix somewhere. I don't know if you put him at the top, but Brian Daboll's in the mix. That's one guy. But there are other guys. No NFL head coach would go, oh, I'm going to take a college head coaching job. It's the opposite. They're taking college head coaches are coming for coordinator jobs. So because they're tired of the way that the college calendar is for them. It's brutal. So, yeah.
I would in a heartbeat if I were in their position coaching the NFL rather than college football. In a heartbeat.
Right, but you're a head coach in college, and you're taking a step like Hafley was a head coach in college, took a step back to be a coordinator in the NFL. That's how much that you would think you'd want to be a head coach. It's like, no, I'd rather be a coordinator. Chip Kelly was another one. Because it's just what they're having to deal with now with NIL, and there's only from my understanding, one quiet month of the year for them where they can actually just kind of say hello to their families and try to remember their kids' names.
It's brutal. Hey, I know how familiar are you? He doesn't dip his toes a lot in the NFL world, but some. I mean, I'm looking at his client list, so he does. Jimmy Sexton, the agent, because this guy has been he's considered like the godfather of college football right now. Yeah. Like he's the one pulling all the strings behind the doors. Yeah. And you've probably seen this or behind the scenes. The reason Penn State can't find a head coach, they say, is because of him. Because he is not letting his clients. He's not letting his clients even interview there.
I did see that. I don't know how accurate that is, but how familiar am I with Jimmy? Very familiar with Jimmy. Very familiar.
So he's Sam Darnold, one of his clients, right?
Sort of. Like when it comes to NFL players, like Jimmy's on the contract on the SRA, but like not overseeing and dealing with the client. It's impossible. Look how many clients he has. And that's a lot of times, like I'll hear that like an NFL assistant or a college assistant is repped by Jimmy, and I'm like, how does he have time? He's like, oh no, I haven't talked to him in 6 months, right? Like it's that kind of a thing. But Jimmy's still, he's still hustling. He called me one time because he heard an NFL head coach or an NFL aspiring head coach within the last couple of years fired his agent. And he called, all of a sudden the phone rings. It's Jimmy Sexton. I said, what's going on here? Because like usually I'll have to call him, right? And he'll pick up the phone and I'll talk to him. But like Jimmy was calling me. I'm going, what the hell? And it was in like May or something, right? And he's like, hey, what are you hearing about fill in the blank, right? And I said, oh, okay. And I forget why he can't, like, I guess I had reported or talked about it or something like that. So he called me. I was like, this guy's got all the money in the world. He's got a client list that's 150 deep. And he's like, I still want that guy right there. So I respect it.
Who's the most prominent? He's considered the most prominent agent in college football. Who is that in the NFL?
Coaching wise?
It's just player, coaches, like who's the biggest deal?
Well, I mean, Jimmy's got head coaches in the NFL and coaches in the NFL. Bob Lamont, who I just had lunch with. Bob Lamont.
Just now, that's who you were having lunch with?
Yeah, I was hanging out with Bob, yeah.
Isn't he Mike Holmgren's? I think he was Mike Holmgren's agent.
He was Mike Holmgren's guy. Yeah. Andy Reid, Sean McVay, Howie Roseman, Jason Light. The list goes on. He's 82 years old, or whatever he is.
He's 82 and he's still working?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Bob's grinding.
He doesn't need the money. Just why do these people work so late?
Money, but he still got his first client was Holmgren, and not long after Andy Reid was there. Like, doesn't he want to see Andy all the way through? I love it.
Yeah. What did he tell you about? What did he tell you about Reid? When is he stepping down, announcing his retirement?
That was not no indication that that's coming. So. Yeah, but Bob's got a lot of them. Trace Armstrong is a big one. Trace's got a lot of coaches. When you want to go to players, it's Drew Rosenhaus. David Mulligetta's doing a great job. He's got a lot of clients.
Okay.
But I do want to back up because it's funny. Jimmy Sexton represented. I started covering the Giants in 2005. He represented Corey Webster. Or I covered in 2004. They drafted Webster in 2005, right? And it's funny. So Ian and I talk about this all the time. I'm like, why does Jimmy, why would he do players? Why would he do? And I remember Ian saying, like, how much money did Corey Webster make in his career? And I was like, I don't know, probably $50 million. He's like, yeah, there it is. Like, there's a guy just made $50 million as a cornerback. Like, and I do hear this a lot of times. Players, because I think to myself, like, why are you dealing with players? Why? Players are easier to deal with for these guys than coaches are. Because coaches have wives and families and all that stuff, and it's like you got to handle the whole situation. Whereas players start at 21, it's just them, and you just have to deal with them. And a lot of times they're just going to work, and there's a whole family situation with coaches that a lot of times makes it a lot harder. So yeah.
Hey, do you ever hear? Just speaking of this, it just led me to think about this. I have another guy on every week, John Canzano. John is a columnist out here, does a radio show in the Northwest, started his own website. He covers college football and just does a great job in doing it. And so he's based out of Portland. And he's always told me that, when Dan Lanning's name gets brought up and sometimes for other jobs, he goes, I don't think he'll ever leave Oregon for a college job. But he thinks his next step will be in the NFL. Now, he's represented by Jimmy Sexton. Do you ever hear his name being brought up in NFL jobs, Dan Lanning?
Whether it's Lanning or whether it's Lincoln Riley or Marcus Freeman, they're always kind of sort of brought up right now. And I think you'll probably get one of those big guys to jump to the NFL at some point in the near future. But you sometimes have, like, remember Chip Kelly when the Eagles hired him was the belle of the ball? Like, who's going to get Chip Kelly? You really don't get that with college football anymore. It's just maybe it's the NIL world and the fact that this thing is sort of so fleeting a little bit. I don't know, but like you haven't gotten that the last couple of years. Freeman's sort of the guy that you're starting to get a little bit of that buzz about just because he's done such a great job with Notre Dame. Yeah, I mean, listen, if Lanning wins a national championship, maybe you'll get that vibe a little bit. So yeah, those guys got to be in the same bucket as all these other guys who are just, I don't want to have to deal with this college stuff. This NFL stuff is a lot easier. There's free agency for a week. Boom, you're done. Draft, great. Like, let's get on. Let's start coaching. So, I think there's going to be a big ticket college guy within the next couple of years that makes the jump. The problem is it doesn't seem like there's a lot of an appetite right now from owners looking for that. Whereas it used to be when Laurie hired Chip Kelly, it was like, oh, the college game is lending itself so much to the NFL. So if we hire a college guy, we're ahead of the curve. It's not that way. You're not getting that from a schematic standpoint anymore. So I think that's probably hurt it as well.
You'd mentioned Bob Lamont that you were talking to today. He is the agent there for Andy Reid. I mean, they've got a huge game coming up this weekend. I mean, this is an elimination game for them. If the Texans can knock them off, this would I mean, it's going to knock them out of the playoffs. I mean, what the chances you give Kansas City winning this game, running the table? I mean, because that's what they've got to do to get in.
Probably not great. You know, it's not like, I mean, it can happen, but it's not like you just flip a switch and it happens and you go on a run. I mean, you hate to count them out just because of who they are and who they have and what they've done, but it just doesn't feel like, you know, there's teams like the Ravens, for example, when they were down early and you're like, no, that still feels like it's going to gel and come together. I just haven't had that feeling with Kansas City, and they got some tough games coming up. It's not like the schedule, that Ravens schedule I was looking at, I was like, this team could rattle off 5 straight. And I'm actually was counting on that Bengals win last week, which is surprised that they lost that in the fashion that they did. They could have continued to be rolling. But that's how hard it is. That's how hard to keep that ball rolling. So I don't see it. I don't think it happens. And we're looking at the very strong possibility of a Kansas City-less postseason.
Crazy. Hey, Russell Wilson's joining the CBS broadcast this week. They don't have a game. The Giants have a game. Yes, this has got to be his last year, right? He's not coming back, is he?
I would say he would explore it, I would think. Yeah. But that's certainly an indication of he understands where he is in his career. And the thing with Russ is, he'll be good. He could be great.
Yeah. I think he'll be good.
Great. No. I know he'll be good. But he could be great as a broadcaster. Right? Depends on how much he wants to be real and how much he wants to let in from the past, right? Like, how many stories can you tell about? Because he's probably sitting on, I mean, think of the personalities that he played with. Think of the coach that he played for. Coaches that he's played for. Like, there's a treasure trove of stuff that you're either going to dip into. I'm not saying you got to tell stories that's going to make it, but like, give us some good stuff, because you know that there's really, if you're asking me like who's making that transition in the next couple of years and who's got the most stuff in the vault that they could lean into, Russ is at the top of the list.
One last thing for you. The Darnold worry meter is moving more and more. People, it's really starting to get into some danger territory here for Seahawks fans. I'm just putting that on your radar.
Okay.
So worry about the Darnold worry meter.
Big games, performances are big. This is what's going to define it. You're not going to just be that guy that's like, oh, you're going to win double-digit games and you're going to put up numbers and you're going to look really good in the middle of October. Like, what's going to happen in December and into January when you got to play some tough games and play some tough teams? Like, that's what this is going to come down to. So,
thank you. I appreciate you joining us after lunch. Find out what they're doing, what they're constructing there at the JW Marriott there in Manhattan.
No, I'm good. I'm out of here as soon as I hang up this phone.
Okay. See you, Mike.